Today we're going to be having a quick look at the GoPro Hero 9 Black. That's nothing surprising, we do that a lot here. But in particular I want to have a look at how we can set this thing up now as a webcam. Now we've been able to do that with the Hero 8, but that required certain firmware put onto it and all sorts of things like that. With the Hero 9 it's a lot easier to do, and there's a software update to the GoPro webcam utility that you need to have on your Mac or PC. So what we're going to do is go through, install that, set it up, have a look at it, and most importantly look at the resulting footage and see how well it comes out, because 8 was a bit dodgy and this is a fairly new technology, so we're playing around with it and we'll see how it works. Okay, let's get stuck in. G'day, how's it going? Great to see you here again. Now before I get started, do click on all of these buttons and things down below. They let YouTube know that you like my videos, and in particular click that share button out and pass this on to somebody else you think might enjoy this. Also, if you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I get back to as many of those as I can. Okay, let's start having a look at the GoPro Hero 9 Black. Now, what we're going to do first is pull down the software that we need for it and have a look at the instructions. This is on the GoPro site. I've put a link to those in the description below as well, so that you can go and grab that, follow them, and install this thing yourself. It's really easy. And then we're going to plug the GoPro into my Mac. Once again, that's just the straight USB-C to USB 3 cable, so simple, easy to do, and most importantly we're going to have a look and see how good the footage is when we record something from this. Now this is a webcam thing that GoPro is saying is really just for giving you a better option for things like Zoom and Skype and Facebook webcam stuff and all that sort of thing. It's not really designed to make it a production recording camera like I'm doing here, so we don't have massively high expectations with this. It's also a very limited set of functionality that you've got to play with when you're setting up preferences. Now this is also my first time going through installing this. I haven't had a look to see exactly what it does yet. I've just read the instructions and just so I know where I'm going with it, and we'll see how good this is together and come up with some sort of summary at the end. Okay, I assume you've opened up the window that I've got here by clicking the link in the description by now. Well, I certainly have. And just have a quick look through here. This is the page that comes up, and it's got a lot of really good info on it. Now it's broken up into instructions for Mac users and also instructions for Windows users. The Windows version is still in beta, but it's been updated a few times. It's come a long way. I haven't had a play with the Windows version myself, but from what I've seen in the documentation, they do operate pretty much in the same way. There is another video here on how to do this, but that's just talking about the GoPro 8, and I'm on the GoPro 9, so you know, mine's obviously better. Here it says first thing to do is update your Hero 8 or Hero 9. If you haven't done that in a while, now's a good time to go do it, because the Hero 9 update does have the software for being able to select it as a webcam built into the OS, and you don't need to install anything special anymore. I think that's the same for the Hero 8 now as well. You can also, I believe, now use this on previous versions of the GoPro, but I haven't checked that out in any detail yet. I just saw it mentioned somewhere. So what we're going to do here now is click on this link, and it's going to let us download and then install the GoPro or webcam desktop utility. It's pretty much the same on PC, so the page will know which OS you're on, obviously. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's downloaded it to here. There we go, and I open that up and it gives me this window right here, so I can click on continue, install, and then type my password in so that it will install the software. There we go, it's doing all the stuff it needs to, and then we just click on restart to restart the computer so that the software runs properly. Give me half a second, I'll do that and come back. Okay, I'm back now. I've restarted my Mac and I've come back to where I was, and as you can see there's this little icon up in the corner here. So if I click on that, it says I can quit, or preferences, and a couple of other bits and pieces, and tells me I'm on the latest version. So what I'm going to do now is plug my GoPro into the Mac. Just open up the flap on the back of the GoPro. It's the USB-C slot. I'll plug the cable into there, and there we go. Now I just push the button on the side to turn this on, and there we go. The telltale GoPro beeps and it comes up saying connected. Now you'll notice here in the menu that it now says camera connected and show preview is available. That's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on show preview, and here we go. It's got a picture of me right here. See, this is me showing the preview here, and it lets you flip that image around if you want to do that kind of thing for some reason. And let's have a look at what else is up in the menu here. So far that image looks pretty good. I'm going to just enlarge that a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just bring that up to here, and should be able to drag a bottom corner out. Yeah, there we go. So, oh yeah, and that lets you change the aspect ratio kind of as well. So it should just be a standard 16:9 ratio. Let's have a look in the menu items. Under digital lens, now it's currently using a GoPro wide lens setting. If I click on narrow lens here, it will swap that out. See what it's doing. Oh, okay, narrow lens, it's a lot closer. Do you feel closer to me? I feel closer to you. And the other option, of course, is the linear lens. Now, this is about all you get. There's no Pro Tune, there's no all sorts of other bits and pieces available. Okay, so that's the linear, which is sitting halfway between the wide and the narrow. Yeah, there's no Pro Tunes or anything like that. There's no color correction. There's no option to change the exposure or anything like that in here. So it's very, very basic. You can pause the webcam in the preferences. I think, yes, it comes up. It lets you choose 1080p or 720. I don't know whether one of them is going to give you a better bitrate per pixel or something like that. It is running on USB-C to a USB 3 hub that I've got here. So the USB 3 in the back of the Mac. So bring the preview back up. There we go. And so there it is, and this is what it looks like. Now I don't think this is too bad. I'll just make it a little bit larger so you can see any defects in here at all. For me, I think it looks a little bit like it squished me sideways a bit, but you know, that's no big deal. That's just something that these lenses tend to do. It set that back to the wide lens. I'm going to go back to the linear so that I don't feel quite so distorted. Don't really notice, to be honest, a lot of difference between the linear and the wide. I was kind of looking to see if there's any parallax curves on these, but there isn't really. Now I do notice a wee bit of artifacting in here. Of course, I've got light behind me and not really in front of me. If you give me half a moment, I will just grab a light. See, like this. There you go. See, I've got a good chunky light in front of me now. And obviously you can see more detail in my beard. I'm probably a little bit washed out in the glasses and things like that. This is a decent panel light that I've picked up, which is this thing here. Really, really good light, and it was cheap as chips. I got off AliExpress. I think I've got a link to it down below. I'll make sure I do. Click on that, buy one of these, and I get a cut off it. So that's brilliant. So yeah, that's what we've got. This is the image that we're getting off this as a webcam. Would I use it as a production camera? Yeah, probably not. It's quite jumpy frame rate when I'm moving around a bit, and it can pixelize the beard. So I use my beard because there's a lot of detail in it. Sorry, I'm looking up here all the time. I'm checking out the image. It doesn't have the best frame rate, and I notice there's some frame jumping sometimes where it'll actually skip back again to a cached frame or something, it looks like, and that sort of thing. But on the whole, it's actually pretty good, isn't it? A pretty good image. And there we go. As you can see, it was very simple to set up. It works straight away. There are a couple little bugs sometimes if the camera doesn't pick up straight away or the application doesn't see the camera. You just need to do a restart. That's all in the FAQs in the document that GoPro have published. So there are a couple of known connectivity things. It's no great surprise. It's the same with any webcam, really. The quality of the webcam, it's definitely not something that I would want to be using to, say, record vlogs or something like this. It's not something I would want to be doing anything major that I want really good production value out of. It's stuttery. The image compression is quite bad in places, especially around my beard. I don't know if you noticed that in the footage. It's fine, and it's a better option than, say, the Logitech C922 in my opinion. I think it gives much better colour reproduction, that sort of thing, especially on a Mac. I know the Logitech, I think, comes out a bit better if you're using their driver on a PC. But every other webcam I've been using recently has just been incredibly disappointing. And while the GoPro 9 as a webcam isn't the same as using this or my other trick of using a Blackmagic Cinema camera as a webcam, it's much better than actual webcams at the moment. So it sits in a nice middle ground there, and I think it's got a really good useful place. It's not able to be used by everything yet. I need to have a look and see whether it can be picked up in OBS. I don't know if it can be picked up in other software that I've got. I know that it's advertised that it can be used in Skype, it can be used in Zoom calls, it can be used in all sorts of stuff like that, and on Facebook for video calling and things. So, and FaceTime, of course. But I need to go and test those things out and see how well it works in each one and whether the driver is better in one or another or not. Anyway, I hope it's been useful to you. If it has and you want to see more of these videos, click down here on this thing so that you're subscribed and you get notifications. And there's this video and this video here as well, which should be interesting because YouTube picked them out just for you. I told them to let them decide so you can see it. And I'll see you later. Bye.